What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another LEGO YouTube video. Today I thought it would be a fun idea to kind of take a look at my entire LEGO collection and go through the most valuable, expensive, and rare LEGO sets that I have in my collection, as I feel like over the past year we have added lots of those kind of sets to the collection, so I think it'll be fun to kind of have an updated video to see just what is the most valuable. So if you were to come to my house, what would you steal, I guess? And there's definitely a lot to go through over here, but I want to kind of do just a quick run through of everything that's kind of valuable. And first off is the most recent addition to the kind of LEGO UCS collection, which is of course the UCS AT-AT. I think this is the second biggest LEGO Star Wars set ever released, only behind the UCS Millennium Falcon, and I love all of the details inside of this set. I think it's just absolutely massive, definitely well worth the $850 price tag, which is kind of absurd to say out loud, but just it's absolutely massive when you have like your hand right next to it. It is just absurd, the actual scale of it, and it just looks really impressive on display too, and it is one of the biggest LEGO sets I have in the collection, and also the second most expensive, tied for first with, of course, right above it, the LEGO Star Wars UCS Millennium Falcon, which around this time last year, actually maybe like last June, was when I got this set, and I think it pairs really nicely with the UCS AT-AT. It's kind of this huge UCS LEGO bookshelf, and I really like this one. It of course also comes with the display plaque, which of course has these sticker pieces, and then we've also got our minifigure selection over here, and this is just a really impressive looking set. This is the biggest LEGO Star Wars set in the collection, and I want to say it also is the biggest set by piece count and also just by size too in my LEGO collection, and it is definitely one of the most impressive ones, and I feel like I'm always drawn to it whenever I am taking a look at anything in my LEGO collection. It's got the really cool cockpit over here, and you can see some printed elements and some sticker pieces, and a lot of use of greebling inside of this set too. It's a very well put together LEGO set, and it took me forever to build it, so I'm happy that I'm still able to appreciate all of the details. And towards the back, it also looks really cool. I love all of those blue studs they use to kind of detail the rear engines over here, and you can just kind of continue to see all of the greebling details with the UCS Millennium Falcon. It really is just one of the best LEGO Star Wars sets out there, and I think it is still my favorite in the LEGO collection. And then moving on to another UCS LEGO Star Wars set, this is the third biggest in my LEGO collection. It is the UCS Razor Crest, and I got this one on sale, and I'm very happy I was able to pick it up. It's got a really cool display plaque as well as 4 minifigures inside of it, and it is just one of the most impressive looking LEGO Star Wars UCS sets. I love all of the brick built details we've got with like the yellow tiles over here, and then it's also kind of mixed in with the sticker elements too to get some details, and the engines on the top look really impressive. We've got the roof panels, which are detailed. It's a very simple design, but there's some greebling mixed in there too. The front turrets look really nice, and I like how the cockpit looks as well. And then also over here you're able to see kind of some mirrored details of the other side, and the Razor Crest, in my opinion, is one of the more underrated LEGO Star Wars UCS sets out there, so I'm really happy I've got it. It is my third biggest LEGO set in the collection. And then next up we of course have the UCS Venator, which actually retails for the same price as the Razor Crest but has way less pieces, but still a really cool LEGO Star Wars set, and definitely one of my favorites and one of my biggest. It comes with Phase 2 Rex, which is not exclusive anymore, unfortunately, and then also Admiral Yularen and the printed display plaque. And I think the UCS Venator is just one of the most like impressive looking sets in the collection. It's one of the longest LEGO sets in the collection too. It's funny how it's like a longer than like Diagon Alley and a bunch of other of those like LEGO City sets, which is kind of funny. And it's got some sticker pieces detailing it, and it just looks very menacing, I feel like too. Lots of greebling, and it was a really fun build to put together. I really like the rear thrusters on it as well, and from a distance this is just one of the most impressive looking LEGO Star Wars sets in my collection, and honestly one of the most impressive LEGO sets period in the collection. And then of course right next to it we have the UCS Republic gunship, which I feel like gets overlooked a lot in my LEGO collection, but it also is one of the biggest ones because it is, you know, a UCS set and went for $400, but comes with its nice little stickered display plaque. And then we've also got the side look over here, which looks really good. It's got the opening doors as well as the bubble turrets and some more sticker pieces and some greebling detailing the side over here, and I think it looks really impressive, especially with the wings and all the different colors that they were able to put in here. And I really like the printed cockpit pieces as well as the bubble turrets too. I think those give a nice look to the actual set, I think, and it's very impressive. I think it looks really good next to the UCS Venator. I would definitely display it like that in every LEGO setup I would have in the future, I think. And then next up, of course, is probably my rarest LEGO set in the LEGO collection. It is the Ewok Village from 2013. This is one of my most expensive ones. I think I paid like $600 for it a couple of years back, or actually I think it was literally just a year ago. But really impressive set, one of the most sought after Lego Star Wars sets, and I feel like it's easy to see why. It's just very unique, and it just has a very nice look to it. You get tons of minifigures inside of it too, and apparently we are getting a remake of it next year, so I wonder if the value of this guy will go down because of that. But for now, it is one of my rarest and most expensive Lego Star Wars sets in the collection, and one that I feel like a lot of people are definitely jealous of, and I can definitely see why. And then next up in the Lego collection, one of my more expensive sets is actually the most rare out of the helmet series. I've got the complete helmet series, but the rarest of them is, of course, the Lego Star Wars TIE Fighter pilot helmet. And this was a Target exclusive, and not a lot of people picked it up because of that, I think. And I think now, I haven't looked at the price in a while, but I was seeing it was going for like more than like $100-$200, which is kind of crazy, and I only paid $60 for it back in the day. So very happy about that, but also one of the most rare Lego Star Wars helmet sets. And then also one of my more rare and valuable Lego sets in the collection is, of course, the Mos Eisley Cantina. I think this is set to retire at the end of the year or next year. I don't know. They're keeping the set alive for forever, it seems like. But this goes for $400 now. I think I got it for $350 before they increased all the Lego prices, I think like a couple of years back. But really detailed set, very valuable. It has tons of really great minifigures inside of it, and there's just so much going on here. I can definitely see why the $400 price tag is justifiable for this, because it really is just a very detailed set. There's a lot going on. There's not really any like dull moments inside of the entire cantina. There's tons of detail chalked into it, and they've got so many unique minifigures inside of it too, and it's just a great display piece too. It's a Lego Star Wars set that's like more of just a scene and not really just a Lego Star Wars ship, which I feel like is kind of more rare to find outside of the diorama series, in my opinion, which is also why I think it's so valuable. And another kind of rare Lego Star Wars set that I've got in my collection is the 2012 Jabba's Palace, and mostly this is expensive because of the minifigure selection inside of it, but the palace is really cool too. It has some unique elements to it as well, and it definitely looks, in my opinion, 20 times better than the new Boba Fett's palace. In my opinion, I just don't really like the look of this one nearly as much. I think the 2012 Jabba's Palace did it way better, has a better minifigure selection, and it's just a better looking end product, in my opinion, too. So I have nothing but good things to say about the 2012 Jabba's Palace. Very rare. I think it goes for like $300 now. And then we've also got Jabba's Sail Barge, too, which might go down in value with the UCS one coming out, but I think this goes for about the same, like $350. And part of that is because, one, the minifigure selection. A lot of the minifigures are exclusive and very sought after, especially Max Rebo and Slave Leia. And then you've got like Riggy, who goes for like $40 as well. And then also just like the sail pieces are exclusive, and it's just a really good build too. There's lots of sticker elements to it, and I think it's a very sleek design. I'm very happy with it. I don't really think I'll pick up the UCS one just because I do have this one. And then finally, moving on from Star Wars, we have our Lego Marvel collection, and starting this off, we of course have the most expensive set in my Marvel collection, which is the $500 Avengers Tower. And this is also the biggest Lego Marvel set in my collection too, by a long shot. I feel like it is just absolutely massive in comparison to literally everything else in my Lego Marvel collection. It just towers over the Daily Bugle, and there's just so much detail, so many cool minifigures inside it, and it's got like, I think, over 5,000 pieces. I might be off, I haven't looked at the piece count, but if I remember correctly, I think that's how many it had. And then also right next to it, we have the Daily Bugle, which is another one of my biggest Lego sets in the Lego collection. This is the Lego Marvel Skyscraper that started it all. We now have seen two more after it with the Sanctum and the Avengers Tower, but this one's really cool. I think it's got like 3,500 pieces to it. I think it retails for $350 now, and very cool set. Love the minifigure selection. Lots of details inside of this, tons of sticker elements to detail it as well too, and it's just a very impressive looking set alongside the Avengers Tower. So two of my biggest Lego sets in the collection, my big skyscrapers. And then next up is more of an underrated Lego set, is the Black Panther bust, and I was able to get this on sale right before it retired, and this guy has a ton of pieces. It retailed for the same price as the Daily Bugle when it was full price, which was kind of crazy. So I'm happy I didn't have to pay that. I think I paid like $200 instead of the $150 or $350, but really impressive Lego set, and definitely one of the largest ones too. And then one of the other more rare Lego sets in the collection is the Spider-Man Web Warriors Bridge Battle from 2016. Very sought after solely because of the minifigures, but also it's just a really nicely designed Lego set too. And I'm very happy with how it came together and how it looks. And I think it really makes for a nice Spider-Man shelf that we have over here. It's kind of the big centerpiece next to the No Way Home final battle. And then next up we have the 1989 Batmobile, which is another one of the more expensive Lego sets in my collection. I think this guy skyrocketed in value once it eventually retired, and I remember getting it literally right before it retired, and I'm very happy I did because it is one of my favorite Lego Batman sets in the collection. It definitely does need some dusting, but it's got some cool minifigures in it, and it has so many cool details inside of it too. Lots of sticker pieces and lots of brick built details too. And then kind of in the background over here, we have the Lego Batcave Shadow Box, which came out last year, which is another one of the biggest Lego sets, and I think this guy retails for $400, so it is also one of the biggest and one of the more valuable parts of my Lego collection. And I really like the look of this one. I'm a bit disappointed with the design of it. I would have preferred something else, but I do still think this is the ultimate Batcave. It looks really nice. I like the brick built Batman logo. And then next up we have the UCS Tumbler, which probably needs more dusting than the 89 Batmobile if I'm being honest, but this is another one of the more expensive Lego DC sets in the collection. You get the minifigures and the display plaque, which is really cool. I think this one goes for like $250 or maybe $300. I can't remember correctly, but another rare Lego DC set in the collection that's retired is the Arkham Asylum from, I want to say, 2012, and that's one of my favorite Lego DC sets in the collection. Lots of cool minifigures inside of it, and it's just got a really nice gothic design to it, and I'm really happy with it. I'm very nostalgic for the Lego Batman 2 game, so of course that affects my nostalgia for this set a lot too. And then also another one of the more valuable Lego DC sets is of course the 1989 Batwing, which is now retired. I'm not sure how much this goes for in the aftermarket, but I'm assuming it's not very cheap, as the actual set on retail shelves was not cheap, and you also get the cool minifigures and the display plaque. And then now moving on from these superheroes, we've got kind of the Lego original themes, and over here we've got Lego Ninjago City Markets and Ninjago City Gardens. Both are still on store shelves. I think the gardens go for $350 and the markets might go for $370, I want to say, but I might be wrong. It's been a while since I've looked at the price, but regardless, these are some of the more valuable Lego sets in the collection, and also some of the biggest ones too, and they have so many details inside of them. I love all of the different colors that they use. The minifigures that they include are great, and also these sticker pieces inside of them also have a nice bit of detail too, and I feel like you can just look at this and stare at it for hours just because of how many details are inside of both of these sets. It's very mesmerizing, I feel like, to look at. And then another one of the more valuable retired sets in my collection is the Stranger Things Upside Down. This one's a bit more unique and also more valuable just because of how popular Stranger Things is, especially the minifigures. Those guys have skyrocketed in value, I think, since they have retired. I think the Demogorgon especially is super expensive. I think like around like $70 now for one in good condition, but the actual set goes for like $250, closer to $300, I want to say too. And then right next to it, we of course have the Monster Fighters Haunted House, which is also a really sought after Lego set. I think this one, if you want it sealed, you'll pay like at least like $600, I think, or like $400 for it used, I want to say. But really cool set from, I think, 2012, the Monster Fighters Haunted House, one of the more valuable Lego sets and probably one of the oldest Lego sets that I have in my collection, and easily one of my favorites too. I love this guy, especially year round, but also during Halloween too. And then of course now we have the modulars with the 2015 Detective's Office, pretty valuable, as well as the 2012 Palace Cinema, and then we've got the 2010 Grand Emporium, I want to say, and then we've also got Assembly Square, which has recently retired, which has definitely gone up a lot in value, and then of course the 2014 Parisian Restaurant. So all of the modulars that are retired are some of the more expensive and valuable parts of the Lego collection. And then now moving on to the Lego Harry Potter selection in my collection, dang, but Diagon Alley is one of the most expensive sets. I think it goes for like $500 or maybe like $400 or $500, I want to say, and it's also one of the biggest sets. And then we've also got Gringotts in the center here, which goes for about $400, I want to say, on the Lego website, and it's again another one of the biggest ones. It almost has the same piece count as Diagon Alley. I think it has a little bit less though, and you get the mines and of course the big Gringotts section too. And I think both of those are really great sets and some of the biggest and most valuable sets in my Lego collection. And then right below it, we of course have the Lion Knight's Castle, which I want to say retails for $400, but I could be overshooting a little bit. But this is also one of the most valuable sets and also one of the biggest ones too. I mean, you can see it takes up almost an entire shelf over here, and it's one of the most detailed and probably one of the most fun sets. I would probably say the most fun set to put together in my entire LEGO collection. This was a very memorable building experience, and it's just a really creative design to it. I think it's just one of the most impressive looking LEGO sets, period, I think. And then also one of the more expensive ones too is the LEGO Home Alone house. I think this guy goes for $300 now, and this has a ton of pieces in it. It's one of the biggest LEGO sets in the collection, but also I feel like anything just over the $250 range, I feel like in the LEGO collection, I consider to be like some of the more valuable parts of the collection, just because like that's a lot of money to spend on one single LEGO set. And speaking of that, we've also got the NES and the Mighty Bowser set, which are both very expensive LEGO Nintendo sets. Then we've also got the Super Mario 64 question mark block, which I think is the cheapest out of the three, if I'm not mistaken. But all of these guys are really cool and definitely some of my favorite kind of like rare LEGO sets inside of my LEGO collection. And that is the entire list. That's everything. We had a lot of sets to kind of go through. I kind of wanted to like speed through them all because I didn't want to have the video be an hour long, but to my knowledge, those are my most valuable LEGO sets, so definitely you have a list now to kind of come by and steal if you are ever in the area, but I think it's really fun to kind of look back and admire all of these rare gems in the LEGO collection. I definitely probably miss a couple of the retired sets that are probably worth a decent bit, but for the most part, off the top of my head, those are the most valuable LEGO sets in the collection. So definitely let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments. Be sure to leave a like if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you are new around here. But that is all for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.